So, Luke, as a avid DC fanboy, I assume that you've been clamoring for the Snyder Cut ever since the release of Justice League.
Oh, yes, Michael. Every night I go on Film News and just on Google and just hope that I see that headline, Snyder Cut released by DC.
So obviously, given that you've been doing that, then every single day, you said, you will of course know that the Snyder Cut is being released by HBO, which is a part of the Time Warner Broadcasting company, and they are going to release it as a mini-series, Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League.
Wow. I mean, I can't wait, Michael. I really can't wait. I am sure, because of Zack Snyder's tremendous track record with films such as Batman v Superman and Man of Steel, that this Justice League movie will be everything I hope for, and not a giant waste of my time and everybody else's. Not just who watched the actual final product, but who have spent years clamouring for the release of that. I'm sure all that time spent will be completely vindicated by this new series, and I'm thoroughly looking forward to it.
Well, if it cheers you up, Luke, it's not just going to be a good use of people's time, but also a good use of $20 million, because, as you'll know, lots of films go through an extreme amount of post-production, which is a not at all inexpensive part of making a film, and the amount of post-production that they reckon they're going to do, HBO has allotted $20 million to bringing this to life. So I'm sure there's lots of really interesting and great dramas that could be released, but don't worry, Luke. We're going to spend $20 million on the Snyder Cut.
Worth every single penny, Michael. You cannot put a price on art.
All right. Hello and welcome to Select and Reflect, the movie review podcast where we look at films that have come out in the near and distant past. We give them a couple of watches and evaluate them beyond first impressions. I'm your host Michael, and I'm joined as always by my co-host Luke. And this week we are celebrating Cats. And yes. Luke, why don't you tell us a thing or two about Cats?
No, you are correct, Michael. We are doing Cats because, well, it's just because that it is such an incredible movie that we have to review. And normally we would be doing a movie such as Wonder Woman, because of the release of Wonder Woman 1984, because of the pandemic, that movie has been pushed back. So we've got open spaces. So why not do Cats? A movie that came out just a few months ago, but I think it will stand the test of time for sure. So anyway, let's get on to the actual movie. Cats is a 2019 musical fantasy film based on the 1981 stage musical of the same name by Andrew Lloyd Webber, the absolute boy. Which in turn was based on the poetry collection Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats by T.S. Eliot, which was created, or maybe not created, which was published in 1939. The film is directed by Tom Hooper in his second feature musical, following Les Miserables. The screenplay is by Lee Hall and Hooper, and features an ensemble cast, including James Corden, Judi Dench, Jason Derulo, Idris Elba, Jennifer Hudson, Ian McKellen, Taylor Swift, Rebel Wilson, and Francesca Hayward. Wow, if all these big stars are putting their name to it, this must be good. For sure. It was released on the 20th of December 2019 in the United Kingdom and the United States. Competing with Rise of Skywalker at the time. I had two great movies going head-to-head there. Michael, can you tell me what the budget was for Cats?
It was, I don't know, I feel like this, again, I'm sure this was a bit of a bomb. I feel like, obviously, you've mentioned all these people. I really want to go higher. I feel like I'm just going to go for a round number, 100 million. It's probably, I think maybe it's going to be more like 80 million. I hope it's not more than 100 million.
You know what, Michael? You just guessed the two numbers in which it was.
Oh, wow.
The budget is 80 to 100 million.
Oh, well done. Well done, me.
That is more than a well done. That is crazy. You not only got one of the numbers correct, you got both the numbers correct.
That makes up for... so basically that 200% success rate needs to now weight my other successes.
Yeah, and let's not go too far. I mean, they were both round numbers at the end of the day. You have to keep our feet on the ground. I know, but well done. That's a very good guessing. But can you guess the box office for Cats? How much did it make?
See, I said this was a bomb. I feel like... I don't know, I really don't know if this made less than 100 million. Again, I kind of want to just go for 100 million again, just kind of hedge my bets. But maybe since you said it's between those two numbers, I'll go for the between them and say 90 million.
Not a bad guess, but 90 million is a bit too high. Okay. It did only make $73 million. So you are right, it was a box office bomb. I mean, it wasn't the biggest bomb ever, but certainly you're losing $27 million there. Yeah, quite disappointing.
Well, as we need to also mention, generally speaking, the marketing tends to add something. I mean, obviously, maybe marketing is included in the 100 million figure as opposed to 80 million, but usually marketing is quite a lot, but we'll see.
I think that might be it. I think that might be it, because the thing is, executives, when the trailer was released, they knew, oh shit, this is going to be absolutely fucking horrible, so they would have cut down the marketing budget to like a quarter instead of 100% of the actual budget. So it would make sense that 100 million figure is both the budget of the movie and the marketing, considering how they cut down on, for example, visual effects. They slashed that budget after the trailer got released because they knew it was going to be quite badly received. So with that in mind, Michael, did you go against the grain? Did you like this movie? Did you like Cats?
No, I didn't like it.
No, I didn't either, I have to say. It is disappointing, it really was. Do you remember when you saw that trailer for the first time when it was released?
Yeah, I think you told me to watch it. I think you sent it to me or something. And
oh, I did.
Well, yeah, I feel like you definitely directed me to it one way or another. You might have just said, "Oh, check out the Cats trailer," because I hadn't seen it until you mentioned it. And yeah, I do remember thinking, "Wow, it's pretty crazy." And then you watch it; it's just a bunch of people singing.
Yeah, I sent my friend a picture of it was a screenshot of James Corden from the trailer, just with his hands up, like looking like a cat, and he was just like, "What the fuck is this?" And he was very enamoured, I think, with the trailer as well. But unfortunately, didn't want to see it at the cinema, which we'll get onto later. But anyway, Michael, how many nitpicks have you got for Cats?
Well, since this is such a terrible film, I've got one.
See, I've got two.
Okay.
And so you go first then.
So my one, this isn't actually a nitpick. It's just what the fuck is a jellicle? You know, like, look, I know it's not, like, they don't even try to explain it, I feel like.
Okay, I'm going to reference this video later because I've seen it and I think it's an informative video on Cats, the Lindsay Ellis video on Cats.
You know what the funny thing is? I have seen it, but I haven't seen it recently.
Okay, so I watched it this week to prepare, just to jog my memory of what was said in it, and there is this, it's only about 20 seconds long, but it's Andrew Lloyd Webber explaining to two television presenters what Cats actually is, and it's back in 1981, so this is the musical. And he's saying, all cats are jellicle cats, but all jellicles are cats. And the presenters are quite confused. It's like, wait, is there a difference between a cat and a jellicle cat? And Andrew Lloyd Webber, I think, goes, yes, but all cats are jellicle cats. Like, apparently, maybe what would be good is if there was this specific area of London which was special to cats, and this was where all the jellicle cats lived, and it was a secret community, and it was called, like, Jellicle Square. I don't fucking know. But the point is that it is, off the bat, quite confusing. And if I hadn't seen, because I saw that Lindsay Ellis video first before I watched this movie, if I hadn't seen that video, I would have been quite confused. I'd be like, wait, is this movie fucking this thing up about Jellicle, or is it actually inherently confusing because this is how the musical is? And it appears that's how the musical is.
Yeah.
So we can't really blame the movie for, like, those questions, like, what the fuck is a Jellicle? The musical doesn't even know. So yeah, that's your nitpick. My nitpicks, I have two. So my first nitpick is Victoria, obviously the kind of main character in this movie. She arrives at the place that all these Jellicle cats live on the day of the Jellicle Ball.
Oh yeah.
Very coincidental, very convenient for her, and for the movie itself. 365 days a year, and she lands on that perfect day. Wonderful. They say, I swear, okay, the McCavity song, this is my second nitpick. The McCavity song. They say he's a ginger cat, right?
Oh yeah.
But he's not. He's black.
Yeah.
I swear they
call
him
let's not be
ginger.
racist.
They just made him Idris Elba. Like, the colour of Idris Elba. That's what they make him. And okay, fine, but why call him... Like, I swear, Taylor Swift does sing that. It's like, he's ginger. He's not ginger. I don't get that.
Yeah, you know what?
Why not just change them?
I must confess that I did not comb through the lyrics. I wasn't, like, paying attention to every single lyric, and I feel like you could be right. I was listening to the music, but I must confess that that probably passed me by. But I could easily see that being there. He said he's a ginger cat. I mean, maybe okay. So it should be pointed out that you can do things gingerly, right? I don't know what that means, but he's like, oh yeah, he approached her gingerly. So maybe
it's like being nervous.
Yeah, which doesn't really make sense given who McCavity is. So
yeah, exactly. It's got to be a description of his appearance.
Yeah.
So, and he's obviously not ginger. So I guess we'll get onto the plot now, Michael.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, on Wikipedia, just like last week, there isn't actually a plot listed, like a plot summary on the Wikipedia page.
Oh.
But anyway, I'll just go through a bit at the top of the page anyway to set up the plot. The film, Cats, received largely negative reviews from critics, who criticised the CGI effects, plot, acting, tone, with many calling it one of the worst films of 2019. And of course, we said it was a box office bomb. By the way, it says here it was estimated to have lost Universal Pictures $71 to $114 million. So actually, they could have spent quite a bit then on the marketing if it lost that much money.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe I was incorrect before if it lost $114 million. Yeah, that's very bad. That's not the $27 million I thought. That is quite a big bomb right there. So, Michael, why did this movie fail so badly? Well, first I want to talk about the background before we get into the plot.
Yes.
Because obviously I think that is important. Who is the director for this, Michael? This movie?
Tom's Cooper, right?
Tom Hooper.
Tom Hooper, sorry.
Yeah, the name Cooper's been in the news this week, so I'll let you off.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it has. It really has. So Tom Hooper, obviously, directed Les Miserables, which came out in 2012 and won Anne Hathaway an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. I do believe that's what she won. And obviously the reason why she won it, or the central reason why she won it, was the performance. I can't remember the song, but I can...
Yeah, I'm really trying to remember that song too. It's a really good song. I actually really like it. But I can't think what it is. I really like it. It is
really good. She's got a shaved head, and I don't know a lot about musicals, so I can picture it. And yeah, I remember watching it at the time and thinking, well, that is incredible.
Once we stop talking about it, we'll remember.
Yes. So, obviously, that does well. Les Miserables, and Hathaway wins an Oscar, rakes in a bunch of money. You know, Cats comes along. Well, I think this is explained in the Lindsay Ellis video that The Greatest Showman did well. Along comes an idea to make a Cats movie because of The Greatest Showman's success. Obviously, Tom Hooper. He did so well with Les Miserables. Let's get Tom Hooper back in there. See if he can do to Jennifer Hudson what he did to Anne Hathaway. Perhaps. So, and this is also explained in the Lindsay Ellis video, Tom Hooper has a realistic style, which is he wants to drain all the fantastical elements out of a musical. And that works for the Academy voters because they do like gritty movies, and that's the claim that Lindsay Ellis makes. And I think that claim stacks up, considering all the movies that have been nominated over the past 15 years. And you consider the movies that were in the running for Best Picture. At the 2020 Oscars, you had Joker,
Parasite.
and obviously Parasite. Yeah, very gritty, realistic movies that talk about a lot of social issues. And yeah, the Academy does like that kind of thing. They don't really like fantastical movies. So why don't you make a realistic movie about cats?
That's a good question. Well, I already did that in the hit film Cats vs. Dogs.
Yeah, and
Garfield, starring what's that Bill what's his face Bill Murphy.
The second one stars John Cleese as well.
Oh,
I remember that. So yeah. So anyway, Cats, realistic. It doesn't go so well. It does kind of create an uncanny valley effect because the cat-human hybrids are kind of weird looking, as we'll go into later. And what Tom Hooper's style of directing meant is it was hard to add fur to the cats because of how Tom Hooper wanted it to be filmed. He didn't want his actors to be impaired by the scenery around them, wanted them to move naturally, so therefore CGI teams had to add the fur on later. They had to do it manually, which is quite painstaking and very hard to do. So this meant that the film's visuals were completed just hours before its premiere. And the film's original release contained numerous CGI errors and glitches, such as one scene in which Judi Dench's human hand, complete with her wedding ring, appears instead of her character's cat paw, which is absolutely incredible for a movie with a budget of $100 million. After poor reviews, Universal notified cinemas on opening day that an updated digital cinema package with, quote, some improved visual effects would be available for download on the 22nd of December, urging them to replace the current print as soon as possible. Studio executives and cinema owners said that the decision to release a modified version of the film, already in wide release, was, quote, unheard of. So that's some of the background to the production of this movie. Quite stunning, really. Again, $100 million, all these mega stars in there. one of the Idris Elba, Taylor Swift, two of the most famous people on earth, and Judi Dench's hand still has her wedding ring on it. Wow. What do you have to say to that, Michael?
I'm surprised they didn't just make it an animated film. You know, when you really think about it, like that would just work better. I mean, it would still.
Well, they won't be in the running then for these Oscars.
Sorry, yeah, I forgot that they were trying to win an Oscar.
Yeah, of course, that's what's important here. Taylor Swift as well. She probably wanted something as well, another award. Because,
Taylor Swift was in the hit animated film The Lorax. Let's not forget.
Ah, yes. So that's the thing. Like, that's why it couldn't be animated. Because why are you hiring some guy like Tom Hooper to be the director? Because they want to make it realistic and they want to make it emotional and powerful. And does that work with a movie like Cats? No, it does not, as we shall get into. So, Michael, shall we go into the plot right away?
Yeah.
So, how does this movie start? Remind us all.
So it starts with like a bunch of really weird-looking cats, and a cat gets thrown into like a bin she's in a sack or something. She's being abandoned, I guess, thrown away by her owners. And then loads of cats surround her and are like, "Wait, what's going on? Are you right?"
Yes, and well, that's the thing. They don't actually go, "Are you all right?" They start off with a song, and there isn't a case of, or there's no dialogue, which is, "Who are you? This is who I am," or any of that. And the song isn't about anything, really, the first one. I can't even remember what it's about. Seriously, I'm trying to remember.
The cat is the one who goes, "Jellicle cats are jellicle cats. There's a jellicle cat and a jellicle cat. There's fantastical cats and there's magical cats and there's jellicle cats. Yeah, there's jellicle cats." Oh, sorry, I don't want to get us taken down copyright for perfectly imitating the song.
Do you mean imitating?
Wow.
Yeah, you're normally the one who does that.
I know.
Yeah, that's how much I love this movie. Can't help.
You stole my thunder.
And that's the thing. It's just as incomprehensible and pointless as the actual movie itself, the first song. It really does set the tone incredibly well. Then, after that song, everyone breaks away. The Cavity comes in just to say, "Hi guys, I'm the Cavity. You'll be seeing me later on." Then
I'll
he
be your
disappears.
villain for this evening.
Yeah, exactly. And then this it's just an incredibly weird song. So Victoria comes into this, I think it was a graveyard, and she asks, "What's your name?" And she says, "I'm Victoria." She's the main character, apparently. And then all the cats go into a song about how cats need another name.
Three names.
Second name.
They need three names.
They need three names, but first, okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Let's not run before we can walk.
Yeah, you need a second name before you can get a third name, obviously. So your second name needs to be a weird name that humans don't know. And so I was expecting her to get a second name at the end of the song. Okay, I'm Fuzzletubs or something.
Yeah.
Some fucking weird thing. She doesn't get a name. It's just, again, she doesn't get a name, Michael. It's just a completely pointless 2 minutes. Oh, cats need a third name.
Yeah, that never really, and like, because, and the third name, she doesn't get a name, and then the third name is a name which not even the cat knows, right? It's like their true name, which they have to discover, or something, which is also never followed up on. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't expect that to be followed up on, immediately, but it's never followed up on at all. So crazy.
It's just an absolutely pointless song with no resolution. Incredible. And yeah, that's the thing. So much shit happens in this movie. You look back on the song, you're like, "Oh yeah, remember that song?" We'll move on to the next song. Not the next song, actually. Before we get into that, we must move on to what the fuck is actually happening in this opening 10 minutes, because watching it for the first time, I was rather confused. You had a song about the Jellicle cats, the song about Victoria needing a name. I confess, I did not know what was going on at all. So I looked to Wikipedia for guidance, and this is what it said. Two Toms, meek magician Mr. Mistopheles, who develops a crush on Victoria, and the loyal Munkustrap, and two queens, the snooty Cassandra and Demeter, take Victoria under their wing and show her the world of the Jellicles as they hype up the Jellicle Ball. Okay, the first bit of that, the middle bit, I should say, the snooty Cassandra and Demeter take Victoria under their wing. That isn't really in the movie at all. And you don't, forgive me if I'm wrong, you don't know the names of those two cats.
Can I just say that I think Rebel Wilson's cat should have been called Dem Eater.
That's great. Wonderful. You're back.
Yeah, went in there.
God.
Shots fired.
it's just these two snooty queens. You
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea who these two... Is one of them Taylor Swift, or is that like a different thing?
No.
Okay.
They're with the good people. They're
Oh,
with a
okay, 'cause I
monster
was-
strap.
Okay, so wait, hold on. I mean, there are the two people who are like the kind of...
Or the two cats.
the two cats who are like mischievous, I think is what they're established as being. Are
No,
they women,
no,
or are they
no.
different? Okay.
They're right at the start. They're the people like telling.
So they're the people
Victoria
singing the
about
Jellicle Cats. Okay.
Yeah. They're not given names throughout the movie, and I was wondering whether they're going to introduce themselves, but they
Yeah.
don't. But Wikipedia does it for you.
Oh, that's good. They should have just had the Wikipedia article running alongside the film. It would have improved
That would
it considerably.
actually genuinely help. That would actually
Just have an IMDb plot synopsis just running alongside.
Just introduce them. I mean, you have no
Yeah,
problem
yeah.
introducing all the other characters in this movie. Just introduce those two
Yeah,
characters.
it's kind of
at the
weird
start.
that for a film that mostly consists of characters singing songs wherein they introduce themselves in roundabout ways, that we still have many characters who aren't introduced.
Yeah, the characters who you would expect to be introduced, the ones that
First meet
help Victoria
yeah.
along, they aren't given any real introduction at all. You find out about Mr. Mistopheles 3/4 of the way into the movie, and the loyal Munkerstrap. Again, that's one of the main characters, and I know who he is, but I didn't know his name. He doesn't say, "Hello, I'm Munkerstrap," and you are Victoria. There's none of that. So again, I needed Wikipedia to help me. So after that, then they move on to talking about the Jellicle choice cat, and that's where Rebel Wilson comes in. So this is where the plot kicks in. She is competing to be the Jellicle cat at the Jellicle Ball. There's this annual ceremony where cats compete for the chance to go to the heavy side layer and be granted a new life. No reason why they're going to the heavy side layer.
Yeah.
No reason why they need a new life. What is the heavy side layer?
What is a new life?
Is it an actual place? Is it a mystical thing? I don't know. Just no explanation given. Okay, well, we'll just move on, I guess. And then we have... so that is the first instance of Rebel Wilson's and her song. And we'll get on to talking about the songs later on.
Yeah.
It is the first instance of characters introducing themselves, as you alluded to before. And there are two consistent things that happen throughout the plot in this movie, which is random cats get songs that allow themselves to introduce their characters. And that is very consistent. So the first one is Rebel Wilson. The second one is Jason Derulo. Who comes in as Rum Tum Tugger.
Oh, yeah.
And, I think he does quite a good job, Jason Derulo. Compared to all the rest of the cats, definitely Rebel Wilson. He sings about himself, although he does fail to mention actually whether he is actually competing for the Jellicle Ball. I don't think he is, because McCavity does not get rid of him.
Yeah.
He's not competing, so I don't know why he's in there. I mean, maybe it's the case with the musical. He's just in there for some reason. Then after that, we meet Grisabella, and this is something which is not explained. So she was this beautiful cat. Apparently, she was, I guess, a queen.
Yeah, this is the one who's played by Jennifer Hudson, right?
Yes, Jennifer Hudson. Yes, who is at the end the person that gets to be the Jellicle cat. She was beautiful and she was beloved. And then there's this line stated by one of the cats that she went with McCavity, and apparently that made her fall from grace. But later on in the movie, this is not explained. This kind of pivotal point in the backstory of the actual Jellicle cat and the evil guy McCavity, I was expecting later on for there to be something. There is nothing here. Did you expect something, Michael?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest,
meant?
the first time I watched this film, by the end of it, I was just like, well, that was the thing that happened to me on this day. And I wasn't really paying attention to anything that had actually happened. I mean, I observed everything happen. I didn't really think about it. And the second time I was thinking, like, who is this? I don't care about this Jennifer Hudson character at all. And obviously part of that is you don't find out. Yeah, so kind of, you would expect that you would find out stuff about her, so you'd identify with her. So you go, oh yeah, I'm so glad Jennifer Hudson became the Jellicle cat. This is so good, because she really deserved it. But no, you just have no idea.
Yes.
Like maybe she literally just went along and she's like, I love being evil. And then, that was it. That was her motivation. And she was like, oh no, I don't want to be evil anymore.
Yeah, maybe she fell in love with McCavity. I don't know. And that is explained. And then McCavity was just using her.
Yeah. Maybe McCavity wanted to put it in her cavity.
Well, he can't because he doesn't have any genitalia.
Oh yeah.
Like any of these cats.
Yeah. Well, do you know that cats have like barbs on their penis?
No, I did not.
Yeah, I don't know why. Just because they're dickheads.
Oh, yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, we know you know why.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So, okay, that's Grisabella. Then James Corden comes in and introduces himself.
Yeah.
He's
fat.
Yeah, he's fat. That's his thing.
It upsets me so much that James... Like, I was just watching so, I was thinking, I'm so angry at how much richer James Corden is than me. Because he just, like, what did he do? How did he become so rich? Someone just picked him. Some random guy in America was like, I want someone to host this talk show. Who's just, like, some random person. And then just picked James Corden.
Well, James Corden had been in movies before the talk show.
Yeah, I don't know what he'd been. Yeah, because I mostly know him as, like, an annoying guy on British TV.
Well, he made his name in the mid-2000s doing... Well, he was
in a sketch show, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in Gavin and Stacey, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And then, that's... How did you... Come on. You must have known that.
I knew that, yeah. I like to say, yeah. I like to play the part of you. Smithy. I got it.
Yes. Yeah, Smithy, yes. And he was a caricature of a, working-class lad who he liked beers, he had sex with ugly...
Just like us. We love have a good beer at the pub.
Yeah, but it was like an over-the-top version of that. But not too over-the-top, just over-the-top enough to be, like, funny.
Yeah.
So he found a good balance with that. And then he catapulted off that.
Catapulted.
And then just became incredibly famous. And now he's an A-list celebrity.
That other guy from Gavin Stacey must be so angry. What's the other guy's name? Like Horn or something? Horn.
Yes, Horn and Corden. Yeah. Was a sketch show, so Matthew Horn maybe. But the thing is that James Corden wrote it with Ruth Jones, Gavin Stacey. So it is right that James Corden got more.
So James Corden does deserve all the credit he gets.
Well, that's the thing. Ruth Jones actually also wrote it, and she has received very little of the credit. She has not had the same career path as James Corden, even though it was a combination of the two.
Yeah, she should have been in Cats.
Yeah, she should have. She should have replaced Rebel Wilson. That would have been fun. But what actually? I'm just thinking back to the Smithy because he was an incredibly popular character. And he still is. Do you think Smithy would have voted for Brexit?
Yeah, I think he would have, but he would have been one of those people who admitted that he didn't know anything about it. Like, or he'd be one of those people who's like, I don't really know about it. I just, so I thought I'd just vote what I believed. Point.
I just think there are signs that Brexit was coming. And
so, I don't think he'd be. I don't think he'd be committed to it. I think he'd just go, I just thought like, I just think the communist countries speak English, right? It's not a big issue.
Yeah. So, but do it in a hilarious and charming way, which made it roughly like, oh, Smithy, you lovable racist, you just can't help yourself, can you? No, that's the thing. That's what he was. I remember him doing videos with the England football team.
Yeah.
As this guy who was a bit of a twat. Well, he was playing a bit of a twat. Like, oh, this is what you do. This is how you.
Oh yeah, no, I remember those videos. They were like for Sports Relief or something.
Yeah, exactly, for Sports Relief. Yeah. And wow, he's look at him now. Look at him now in this movie. Really a tremendous career path.
Yeah.
But very much deserved all of it. So that's the thing. James Corden comes in, and then after that, he gets captured by McCavity, just like Rebel Wilson, who did halfway through the song because she didn't go inside for some reason. So then we have after that Mungo Jerry and Rumpel Teaser, the two mischievous twins. The introduction of them who enjoy causing trouble. They come in and they are never seen again, apart from a 10-second clip at the end of the movie. That's it. They just come in and sing about how we like messing up things for the owners of our of us in the house because we're cats and that's what we do.
Yeah, cats are annoying.
Why would the owners just not like put you down? There's a question that came to my mind, but there you go. So that's it for them. And then old Deuteronomy comes in.
Yeah.
Played by Judi Dench, Dame Judi Dench, of course, and explains the Jellicle Ball. Then they all get tired after dancing. Then
this presents a seriously an accurate depiction of just how active cats are throughout the day.
Yes.
I don't think my cat has... Oh, my cat's dead now, but I don't think my cat moved that much in his entire lifetime.
No, yes. I don't think this movie is as realistic as it could be.
It feels like real cats, they just like get up, walk to the other side of the street, and then fall asleep again.
Yes. So then Victoria, main character, runs out of the theatre for some reason to find Grisabella. Grisabella's just hanging around outside just because. Then, they have a little prelude to Memory, And then after that, Gus, played by Ian McKellen, performs. Then Macavity snatches him. Then Skimbleshanks performs. Guess what happens after that, Michael?
She disappears.
Yeah, Macavity snatches him again. So that's the other theme in this movie. Well, not the theme. It's the other plot thread in the movie. Yeah, it's one, characters introducing themselves through song. Two, after characters introduce themselves through song, they get kidnapped by Macavity. And so let's talk about Macavity now. He wants to be the Jellicle Ball winner. That's his motivation.
Yes.
Even though I think that's the thing, he seems to be like quite content with himself.
Yeah.
Like, the Jellicle Ball is like, gives you a new life, you know. Makes, if you've made mistakes in your past, allows you to do things a second time, perhaps. That's what winning the Jellicle Ball means.
Yeah.
But Macavity, he seems to be like really enjoying himself. So I don't know why he
Maybe
wants that.
he just enjoys ruining it for other people.
Yeah, perhaps. So yeah, this is the second thing that happens. Obviously, we talked about Macavity taking away Rebel Wilson to his ship on the Thames. He does it with James Corden as well. He snatches Gus and Skimbleshanks, and then he's the only one left. So he must win, Michael. He must, because all the other contestants aren't there. So
He's the winner
has
by
to
default.
make it. Yeah, the Jellicle Ball. Then Judi Dench says, "No, you cheated." And the thing is, what really let Macavity down is he kind of did it out in the open. I think that really screwed him over.
Yes. That was a stupid part of his plan.
If you take away the contestants in the middle of their performance and kidnap them in the middle of the performance, then people are probably going to notice, and therefore when you say, "Hey, I'm the only one left," that must mean I'm the winner. People are probably going to suspect that you actually cheated. So maybe not the best idea.
Yeah.
So when Judi Dench says, "No, you're not winning Macavity, you cheated," what does Macavity do?
He gets rid of her.
Yeah, he snatches her. I mean, everything is a nail.
Yeah.
What's that phrase?
When all you've got is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. That's it.
Yeah, that's with Macavity. It's like, a cat was a problem, I'll snatch you, and shout, "Macavity!"
Yeah. He should have starred in the film Snatch.
Can you do a good Macavity impression, Michael, as he kidnaps people?
Yeah, no, I can't do it. Sorry, I thought you were just asking for it. Okay, I mean, I don't know. Like,
I did it.
Okay, fine. I'll do it just for solidarity. Macavity!
There we go. See?
You're welcome.
Doesn't that make you feel so much more better?
It does. It makes me feel much more better.
Much more better, yeah. So, Macavity makes Judi Dench walk the plank. But she is saved by Mr. Mistopheles.
I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles.
Gonna get to the songs later.
I know, I'm so excited for that song because it's such a good banger. Saved
So
by Mistopheles.
We get to the ending now. So again, Victoria randomly finds Grisabella. Again, I was expecting an explanation of her backstory. No, we don't get any of that. She sings her song, and therefore she gets saved. Macavity jumps onto the balloon and fails because he slips off. I mean, is that all it takes to defeat him? Like, I fell off the balloon. Well, that's it. He could just try again next year because he's not dead. Why couldn't he just do the same thing next year, Michael?
Yeah. Whereas next time he could just skip the whole trying to, steal the competition and just jump on the balloon. I mean, I'm sure it's not that hard.
Yeah, that's the thing. He got on it. He just fell off.
Exactly,
So yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think the movie could have actually been somewhat okay if Grisabella had a really good backstory and a good character.
And the film had a great plot and interesting themes and something about cats.
Well, maybe not. The themes and all that, that's too much for this movie, clearly, but just give Grisabella a bit more like, backstory. And then when you have her ascend, it's like, oh yeah, that's great. She's in this movie for 5 minutes. Jennifer Hudson hardly ever appears in the film, so it's not that satisfying when she does get saved. And that's the thing, it could have been. They could have made it work if Grisabella wasn't the plot more. And you cut out some of the random cats who don't do anything. Like the twin cats, for instance. Fucking, what are they called?
Mundo, Jerry, and
Rumpel Teaser. Fucking stupid names. Much stupider than all the other ones, for sure. Yeah, cut them out and then, have more Jennifer Hudson. And it's like, okay, this could not be as awful as it was. But they did not do that. So yeah. Any more thoughts on the ending, Michael?
No, not really. I mean, it's just like... The thing is, the plot is so paper thin because, I mean, one, it should be pointed out, so you have those songs. The other thing is, In other films, like, I don't know, West Side Story or Oliver, the songs advance the plot. Like, and you have, for example, two characters can fall in love, and, you gotta show them fall in love, just have them do it in a song. Like, songs can actually result in, like, a more efficient use of plot, where characters can actually go through meaningful changes through the film, which would be harder to display otherwise, and there's loads and loads of examples of that. But obviously in this film, really, yes, obviously you could say every single song advances the plot in that it involves Macavity stealing people, which is part of the plot, but none of it really adds anything. And even like Jennifer Hudson's song, I mean, what's it about? It's about memories, but did she actually say anything significant? She didn't really reveal anything. Just, memories. So yeah, basically the thing they would have had to have done to make it work really is have the music contribute to the plot, like, West Side Story.
Yes. But that's hard to do when the actual musical does not contain a plot. And that's the problem with Cats as a whole. And it's a very difficult movie to adapt, so they shouldn't have tried it anyway.
Yeah.
But obviously there is no plot in the actual musical, so you have to create one. And they didn't do it very well. And I guess they had to include all the songs, maybe, or a majority of the songs, so they couldn't focus more on the plot and just have songs dotted throughout. Because there are so many songs in this movie.
Yeah.
That's what we'll get onto. I think that's the thing with Cats in general. I don't have any respect for the musical. And I don't have any respect for the stories either, because obviously it was based off T.S. Eliot's stories. And what is it? This type of the stories that T.S. Eliot created and the musical, it's kind of an
anthology.
Well, that's it. But what is it actually, Michael? And I have a phrase for this, which I think sums it up well. It is British nonsense, because there's this thing in our culture where we like kind of whimsical stories, primarily
like Alice in Wonderland. I mean, what the hell is a Jabberwocky?
Yeah, primarily meant for British children.
Yeah, I think the craziest thing in the world is that Dr. Seuss was American. That's one thing that's just impossible.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
it's so British. Like weird words that mean absolutely nothing.
What's it like? That's the thing. We just make up weird words anyway, don't we? It's like, oh bloody hell, it's a Codswallop going on.
Yeah, that's something that Americans do make fun of us for. It's like weird words for just simple things, and that's what this cat is. It fits in this category of, like I said, just British nonsense, where weird words that mean absolutely nothing are just weird for the sake of it because it's just silly. There's, that's how I think it is. That's what I think this is. I can picture like books from my childhood. Just like silly words, and it's going to be funny because it's silly, and that's humor. And I just don't get it. And I think it's kind of unique to Britain. It really is. You mentioned,
you ever seen the fucking Teletubbies, bro? They're just like, there's like this one episode. It's like Lala comes in. It's like, oh no, Lala, you've got dirty knees. And then it's like 2 dirty knees, and then Tinky Winky goes like, oh, Tinky Winky also has dirty knees. 1, 2, 3, 4 dirty knees. And basically, that's the entire episode. The entire episode is like just the rest of them come in, and it's like, oh no, 8 dirty knees. You've all got dirty knees.
Fucking stupid.
I think they have to go wash up their knees. And that's it. That's the episode done.
Bill and Ben, the Flower Pot Men. Remember that? Oh shit!
Yeah. What about the Tweenies?
I mean, I think the Tweenies was an actual show.
And what about the Thimbles? That's pretty weird.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You watch Sesame Street, and it is completely different to British children television.
Sesame Street's got it's got lessons as well. I learn things. Even I learn things to this day from Sesame Street.
But it's different. Sesame Street, obviously, you've got weird, wacky characters, but it doesn't contain like nonsense. But that's what a lot of British children like, or things that are marketed towards British children and written for British children by British authors. They do contain nonsense. And I just don't get it. And this Cats is another primary example of this. Like fucking Rumpelteazer and Mr. Mistopheles.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? And again, it doesn't make any sense in the movie, but the musical doesn't make any sense either. And maybe people like it for the songs and the actual costumes and the vibe. Okay, that's fine. But the actual substance is just fucking stupid. And so that's why I don't have any respect for the actual musical. Maybe I'm being too harsh saying I don't have respect for the actual books written by T.S. Eliot, because he wrote them a while ago, and
also let's not forget he had to make these things rhyme, Luke, and it's really hard to make things rhyme.
Yes,
sometimes you just don't have the time.
Yeah, that's the thing. He didn't actually want to release them. His wife released them to Andrew Lloyd Webber, didn't actually want to publish them. So okay, maybe I'm being too harsh on him and the actual original.
They were just for his private fetish.
Fucking hell. No, but I just hate this theme. Is that the correct word?
I don't know. Yeah, I get what you mean, but like, I don't know. This zeitgeist. I don't know. That sounds fancier.
Yeah. Just this collection of stories and tales containing stupid words and TV shows or any media at all, which are like, oh, this character's got a silly name, so it's funny. But I just don't like that. And that's what this movie is. So again, going back to what we were talking about originally, if you're trying to adapt it, then it's going to be quite difficult to do, because it is, like I said, just nonsense. And it does come from, like I said, this British nonsense, which we, apart from Dr. Seuss, are unique at. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Shall we move on to the actual? Shall we move on to the actual cats, Michael?
The actual cats, yes.
Yes. So, do you want to talk about them? Well, when you saw the cats for the first time, what did you think?
Well,
were you enticed?
The first shot of them is like really creepy looking. You see them like run across the screen, they're like kind of silhouetted, and it's really disconcerting. Like the very first shot of them, where you can't even. And the funny thing about that the weird thing about that shot is it's not even when you can actually see the nitty gritty detail. But to me, that was the first one I was like, oh, this looks weird. Like they were just moving, like they were made out of rubber and stuff. And then obviously apart from that, you see them, you're like, oh. See, the thing is, I will say, like, the fact the film is so off the wall means that the uncanny valleyness of the cats doesn't get to me too much, which I guess, maybe I'm kind of complicated. I'm just saying, like, to me this film's so weird that I'm not thinking like, oh man, the cats look strange, because I'm like, yeah, everything's fucking strange.
The cats fit in with the actual movie as a whole.
Yeah,
they don't stand out, which is really not good.
Yeah, like if this was like Lord of the Rings and now like effects like this, I'd be going, oh okay, this is really bad. But
yeah,
it's cats.
I think that's true. When you watch the movie as a whole, the cats don't weird you out that much.
Yeah.
But when you see selective clips on Twitter or videos of these human cat hybrids licking each other and showing their crotch, it is very weird. And you think, and your brain does think, oh my god, imagine 1.5 hours of this would be crazy. It's actually not when you get used to it. But yeah, I think obviously this is based on a musical. Why wouldn't you just wear costumes like they do in a musical, Michael? Why wouldn't you do that? Because
you're right.
It looks fucking stupid. And you have to think again, it was because that guy, the director, Tom Hooper, he said he was very proud of how grounded this movie was.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. He's trying to make it more realistic, but that means it's more unbelievable, if you get me.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you made it more unrealistic, then it'd be more believable. Because then you're trying to trick the audience's brain to think, okay, this could be realistic. But your brain is like, right, these human cat hybrids are offensive to nature itself. How can I think this is realistic? And therefore you get dragged out of the movie. It becomes more unbelievable. So he's actually kind of screwing himself over. Just make it as fantastical as possible so people can get invested and suspend their disbelief.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, you can't have it both ways. You can't try and adapt cats and make it into something that is grounded. It just does not work, and it ends up undermining your whole campaign from the get-go. So I think the best thing would be, like they're doing the musical, just be evocative of a cat. Not an actual cat. And here's the thing, which I don't get about this movie either, that there are humans in this world. At the start, obviously, Victoria is thrown out of the car by humans. Everything in the set is human-sized, so humans live in this world, and that just, it makes it seem weird. Like, who are these cats? Actual cats that actually have human owners? The thing is, it works in the musical, because obviously there is no scene of Victoria getting thrown out at the beginning, and the sets are, well, there is no like massive chairs, because obviously it's a musical, it's on a stage. I don't know why they couldn't have just made humans not exist in this movie. Surely that would have been better. The kind of thing has been done before, so I don't know why you would ever try and make this world seem more realistic. So yeah, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I kind of agree. It's just it's not great.
It's not great, no.
And ultimately, yeah, like I say, I think honestly, if they would have made it like kind of gone what I'm going to call the Fantasia approach of be like, okay, we're going to have 2D animation, it's going to be good looking animation, and obviously it doesn't have to be photorealistic because it's 2D animation, but like do inventive animation, or even, like Aladdin. I mean, lots of Disney animation studios, 2D animation is interesting to look at. And I feel like if they would have done that, then it just would have worked so much better. And obviously, like say that would be a very different approach to where they were going. But I think that would be the best thing they could have done. If they wanted to make a film about cats, don't even try. So I guess I'm kind of going in the opposite direction. You're saying like have it be like human beings evoking cats. I think that's too much like the musical to the point of no point. I feel like if you want to justify this film, because that's the other thing we need to talk about. Well, we don't need to talk about, but the other thing that people will have an objection to with this film, which is this film doesn't really justify its own existence. There's no reason to watch it as opposed to
of course.
Musical. So therefore, if you wanted to justify the film and make it, I think, probably as good as it could be, then one thing you would have to do is have 2D animation where it's like hand drawn, it looks nice, it's real sexy. All the furries can enjoy it, and then
that's a good point. Actually, do you think furries even enjoyed this? Probably not. Because the cats are so fucking weird looking. I can't imagine any furries getting into it.
No, yeah, I really, I think you're right. I don't think furries are into this.
I mean, you consider they all went mad for
Zootopia.
What's that? Zootopia. Yes, that what's she called? Hops.
Yeah,
that's it, isn't it? How creative. Yeah, Officer Hops in Zootopia. They all went mad for her, but yeah, she's just literally a rabbit. But in this movie, like, it's half human, half cat. No, all the furries are staying away, and that shows if the furries don't like it, you've done a really bad job.
No, yeah, I agree.
I think that's the conclusion you should come to. So yeah, that's I guess the cats itself, just a horrible idea. And yeah, you're right. Animation would be better, but would somebody win Best Supporting Actress for appearing in a animated movie, Michael? Would
no.
They? No. So yeah, that ain't happening. It's got to be live action. So we shall get onto the songs now, Michael. And there are a lot. Do you want to guess how many songs there are?
17.
17. Okay. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 songs. Again, just if you're going down the realistic route, just cut some out and add some like characters talking and backstory. Again, it's going even further away from the actual, stage musical, but I think that's the only way you can make it work, if you make it more like a actual movie, because it is a movie. But anyway, the songs, Michael. The first one, you sang it before, sing it again.
Jellicle Cats, they're the Jellicle Cats, yeah, these Jellicle Cats, they're really Jellicle Cats. I just meant to repeat Jellicle Cats over and over again.
Jellicle cans, and Jellicles do. Jellicle songs for Jellicle Cats.
Beautiful.
Very incomprehensible. And like I said, it does kick off the movie in a good way, because it does set the theme. This is just fucking nonsense. And just don't bother paying attention to anything. We get on to probably the most infamous song in the entire movie next, and it's only the second one, which is the Gumby Cat song. This was infamous. This is the clip that went viral on Twitter, because there are mice in the song, and Rebel Wilson is going to eat them. And what are their faces, Michael?
They're children.
They're fucking children. The cockroaches as well. The cockroaches have human faces. They're real. And then she bangs one off the table and eats them. And you are just thinking, what
so maybe they realized they couldn't get the furry fetishists, so they wanted to get the vor fetishist. Do you know what vor is?
No, tell me.
It's the fetish of being eaten.
Oh, wow,
they find being eaten really sexy.
Jesus Christ! How do you know that?
I wish I could remember.
I really have to think hard about this.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Yeah. I feel like there's a reason. I feel like there's a justifiable reason for why I know, and definitely not that I'm really into it myself.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
That would be weird.
Yeah. Basically, she is a Gumby cat, is Rebel Wilson. And that's all you can get from this song. There's little motivation. She said she wants to be the Jellicle because she's bored. She probably said more, but you're too distracted by everything going on around. You couldn't really make sense of what she's saying or what the song is actually about. So next up is the Rum Tum Tugger song. The Rum Tum Tugger is a curious cat. So this song actually explains a bit about him. And then you realise, well, actually it's basically just repeating itself over and over again. We get it. He's a contrarian. Who's a famous contrarian, Michael?
Yes.
In the human world. No, who is?
Oh, who is?
Yeah. In the human world.
Oh, easy. Dave Rubin.
Dave Rubin.
Ben Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro. So Rum Tum Tugger is the Ben Shapiro of cats.
Yeah.
I'm sure Ben Shapiro will like that comparison.
Oh, Jordan Peterson too.
Don't assume you're able to change the world. The fact you can assume you can change the world shows that you're arrogant.
Rebel Wilson is doing some great improv as well. No, we should just that. Oh, that's easy, and dances for a bit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, how'd she come up with this
Yeah.
stuff?
I know, just crazy. Grisabella, the glamour cat. Yeah, it definitely goes like that. Very short bit because it's just kind of again setting up what's going to happen to her later on. Then we get Bustopher Jones, and I like what I put here. James Corden ruined this movie, Michael. I was really enjoying it up until here, and then he comes in and ruins it. Just absolutely takes it downhill.
Yeah,
But
it's
to be
just
fair,
this whole
actually-
song's about being fat. I really can't remember much of it. It's just like,
Yeah.
I see some of these songs I really can't remember the tune to at all.
No, that's a sign of maybe not a good musical.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I mean, you can remember memory. Maybe actually there's just so many songs it's impossible to fit all of them into your brain. Yeah, James Corden, he's fat, he likes food. Some wonderful comedy when he hits his crotch on the wall because he's so fat.
Oh
he
yeah,
can't
that's
get
like,
over it.
I actually know what I like the bit where he's like, he's gonna do the big jump and it's like, that's obviously not gonna work, is it? You know,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be able to bounce me.
Yeah, I don't really mind that bit.
I don't mind that. Actually.
But yeah, the joke after was
It was my personal highlight, but then they ruined
right.
it by being hit in the balls.
the memorable song about the mischievous twins Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser.
My name's
Have
Mungo
they-
Jelly. My name's Rumple Teaser.
Yeah, really memorable. And then up next is the old Deuteronomy song. Do you remember anything about this, Michael?
Yeah. Old Deuteronomy, that is my name. No, I don't. I've got. No. I'm thinking of the. No. The songs get more memorable towards the end. I feel in the second half.
Yeah, maybe it's just because you've just watched them recently.
I don't know. Yeah.
More recent. Makes sense. So we get the Jellicle Cats come out tonight. Come on, come all. Jellicles come to the Jellicle Ball.
Yeah. Love it.
That song. And that it started by Ian McKellen going meow, meow, meow.
It's come a long way.
Yeah, a career highlight.
Yeah,
for sure.
I really hope he does another film before he dies. Like, I hope he's already done one. Otherwise, I'm very concerned because I don't want this to be the last film. Like, people look at his IMDb and like, oh, let's see an actor, and like the last film there's just cats.
Meow, meow, meow.
Yeah, I did.
God, I can't believe that was kept in because it's so fucking stupid. Like, even in the movie, you notice it. It's not natural. So then after that, I'm probably skipping some songs, by the way, because there's some songs which are like 2 sentences long, which I haven't included.
Yeah.
Grisabella is next, and she sings a prelude to Memory. All alone in the moon.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah. Oh, that's just a prelude. That Victoria sings the Beautiful Ghost
Put us
song.
some beautiful ghosts.
All I want was to be wanted.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah, it's good. Do you know who it was written by?
I do know actually.
Go on.
Tay-Tay.
Yeah, that's Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Yeah, Taylor Swift.
Paul
Oh, I
Tay-Tay.
didn't know she was known as Tay-Tay. My apologies.
Yeah, well, actually, maybe I just made that up. Well, you know, I'm actually pretty friendly with Tay-Tay, and you know that song London Boy? That was written about me.
Oh yeah.
Even though, like, I'm not from London, but she was like, oh yeah, he's from South East England. It's fine, it's close enough.
Yeah. Okay.
She was like, oh my
So-
god, you're from London? Like, no.
So here's the thing. I watched that Lindsay Ellis video, and there's this clip of obviously because this is the new song, because there has to be a new song because
Yeah.
you've got to win an Oscar for new song. And so there's this clip of Taylor Swift talking to Andrew Lloyd Webber, and she's saying, of course, well, you can't get T.S. Eliot to write this song, so instead you have to get T.S.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love it. That's so perfect. That's the best sentence I've ever heard.
She clearly she couldn't wait to say that, could she?
I'm gonna let you finish, but T.S. Eliot was the best poet, the best song about cats of all time.
Yes.
Where
I
are you,
love it.
Kanye? We need you.
The one time Kanye, we
Yeah.
need you. Where
Yeah.
are you? Oh god. So then we get.
Oh, by the way, we should point out it did win a nomination for Best Original Song.
What,
Did you know that?
was it?
Yeah.
Was it for a Golden Globe?
Sorry, it was a Golden Globe. Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Because later on, well, this gets onto what I was going to go for. Talk about
Okay,
later
yeah,
on in
yeah.
the hubris. Yeah, she mentions in in the interview. Oh, another interview that she was like, "Hey, and because of her singing, we got a Golden Globe." It's like, yeah, we know what you were going for, Taylor Swift. Don't be so.
Yeah, everyone hates
happy
Taylor
about
Swift. Yeah,
Yeah, you know, everyone does, and
especially her
everyone should rightly do it.
ex-boyfriends.
Oh yeah, for sure. How many has she got, by the way, of those?
I don't know, like 100? No. So the thing is,
Has
it's not actually that many. Like, I don't know. It's just like she dates loads of high-profile people. Like, she dated Harry Styles, John Mayer, probably loads of people who aren't famous that I don't know about personally.
Who's that guy who plays Loki?
Oh, Tom Hiddleston. Yeah, she dated him.
That was it, yes.
Yeah.
So, next up, The Moments of Happiness by Old Deuteronomy. I just wrote this song is awful, no tune, and I can't remember it, so that analysis is probably
Well,
correct.
it's got no tune, so it's The Moments of Happiness. Yeah.
Then it's Gus, the theatre cat.
Yeah, see, now I really don't like how they went back into just introducing different types of cats. Like, they had a good couple of moments ago where they were talking about other things, and then like, nope, gonna get back into introducing cats.
Yeah, back into introducing cats, so that's Gus. And then we have Skimblechance, the railway cat.
Yeah, that's the weirdest cat in the world. Oh yeah, you got the cat about town, you got the glamour cat, you got the cat who's like a real drama, and you got that cat who's obsessed with railways. Just everyone's got that. And let me tell you, okay, if your friend group doesn't have someone obsessed with railways, it's you.
Okay, that's good.
You're
but
the
thing
person
is,
obsessed with railways.
it was set in the 1930s.
Oh yeah, that's
so
true.
yeah, I'm guessing that railways were more popular. So if you're having a cat obsessed with railways, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
But he was like the greaser of his day.
Yeah, back in the day, like only in the 30s, only the coolest kid was like.
That's the thing though with these Skimblechance railway cat song. I do like it. It is upbeat, and the tap dancing he does is neat. So, oh my god, it just rhymed.
Oh wow, you should write a poem.
I know. I could do it an easily better job than T.S. Eliot.
Yeah.
Like, easily. I just have to write words that are actually coherent, and then it's done. I'm better. So next up we have McCavity, which is performed by Taylor Swift. Not by Idris Elba, though.
Yeah.
McCavity.
See, I want to point out that they really get a lot of mileage out of the fact that McCavity's name rhymes with depravity.
Yes. Yeah, they do.
McCavity, McCavity, the king of depravity, or whatever it is. I don't know.
What else can you rhyme with McCavity?
Yeah,
gravity?
The gravity. When it comes to his depravity, you don't understand the gravity. McCavity, yeah. Brilliant, love it.
Again, kind of another introduction song, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of. Idris Elba does show up near the end as well to sing his bit, because it is his song, it's not just for you, Taylor Swift.
Yeah, bloody Taylor, Tay-Tay. Always trying to steal the stage from a black man, you know, just like at the VMAs. You know, Kanye West was up there explaining to Beyonce, and she came on trying to make it all about her. How selfish.
Yes.
But she did make Kanye famous.
Yeah, no, he was not famous before that, for sure. Yeah, no, that there is a trend there for sure. The Taylor Swift trying to upstage a successful black performance. Yeah. It's got to stop. Got to stop right away.
Stop, Tay. Stop making music now.
Yeah, or you could just do that. That would be okay as well.
Yeah.
I don't really have that strong an opinion on Taylor Swift, to be honest. But
I just, it was that really bad one that she did, the Look What You Made Me Do. And also the that one where she does that rap song. It's like, my ex-man bought his new girlfriend. I actually really like...
no, did you know how many times at university that song was playing?
Oh, yeah.
That was the most consistent song. Because the player's got to play. And shake it off, shake it off.
I remember All About That Bass in first year.
All about that bass.
That bass. No treble. Oh, that's who they should have got to play the fat cat.
What, Meghan Trainor?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. I know, but that's the thing. I listened to, what is it called? 22. That song from...
I don't know about you, I'm feeling 22.
It was on the radio or something the other day, and the lyrics are just so fucking stupid. It's like, let's dress up and complain about our ex-boyfriends.
Yeah, brilliant, beautiful. You know how it is when you're just
22 years old, that's what you do, apparently.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So, this is marketed towards people who are significantly younger than 22.
But I do like that song. It's like,
that's my claim.
It's like, you got a smile that could light up this whole town. I haven't seen it in a while since she brought you down. I think that's quite good. Like that's a little good rhyming couplet. So I like that. Right. And also I like to imagine she's talking to me and saying that I have a smile that could light up this whole town.
Yeah, that's great. You keep imagining that. So yes, that's it for Taylor Swift. By the way, yeah, she just appears as like Idris Elba's henchman. Henchwoman. Her denchwoman.
Oh yeah. Brilliant.
Sorry. Yeah. She's Idris Elba's henchwoman, and then she's gone after that. She appears for one scene, and that's it. It's over. Yeah. And there's this claim that Lindsay Ellis made in the I reference this video quite a lot, but because it's a really good video, where she says that all these famous actors, they appeared for like one scene, and Taylor Swift does. Because they didn't want to spend time on set. It's like, well, let's get my song out of the way and then I'm off. I'm not going to be in any more of this movie. And I think the introduction of Taylor Swift is the most obvious thing of that. Like, we're 1.5 hours through the movie. She suddenly comes in. She's suddenly with Idris Elba, even though She's not been in any of the scenes beforehand with Idris Elba, and then she leaves right after. Yeah, very clear that was the case with her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I can imagine that. It's like the opposite to Lord of the Rings, where everyone was just forced to be together for a whole year.
Yeah, literally is. Mr. Mistopheles next. There was never a cat that was so clever.
As magical Mr. I actually genuinely, I like the song. Not in... I'm never going to look it up. I'm never going to, oh man, I want to listen to it. But I think it's a good tune. Oh, well, I never was there ever a cat so clever as magical Mr. Mistopheles. Do. I mean, it's pretty repetitive. And also the verses aren't good.
Oh, really?
So this is not, the verses are just like, which, is not a banger. But the chorus, I can belt that out.
I know for sure. But that's the thing, it's good, but...
And also, I should point out, that's one of the few songs which actually advances the plot, in that it's about...
That's a good point. That is a very good point.
He has to actually learn to be able to, transport. It's actually the only time when the song, it's the only song in this whole musical that functions as a song in a musical actually should.
Yes, I completely agree. That is a very good point. So, we shall move on to the next song, which is probably the most famous song, which is Memory. All alone in the moonlight.
I mean, this is a classic. It's the one song. It doesn't actually sound like it's from. You wouldn't think it's from.
No,
Cats.
it doesn't.
So it just sounds like a genuine, just song. From
it sounds like a song from a good musical. That's the thing.
It sounds like they tricked us.
Yeah, the most famous song from Cats, the actual really memorable song. So it's named very aptly, and Jennifer Hudson sings it really well, as you would imagine, because she's really good at singing. Just a shame that she looks like she does as she sings.
Yeah, that's a bit racist, Luke.
No, this thing, you consider when Anne Hathaway sang a song, she obviously had a shaved head.
Yeah.
And you consider, that, well, okay,
it's
so we're going to have
Jennifer Hudson.
She's going to look ridiculous as well. Yeah. She's going to look ridiculous as well, Jennifer Hudson. The Academy won't mind. She's sure lock this one up. But it was too ridiculous, unfortunately, for Jennifer Hudson, but she sang it really well, and it's a great song, obviously. We have to move on next, Michael, to the Jellicle Moon. What is this? Up, past the Jellicle Moon, up, to the Heaviside Layer. I don't know.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's when, obviously...
Yeah.
Jennifer Hudson's being lifted into the air.
It sounds like a song from Willy Wonka, up the glass elevator, Charlie.
Yeah, very upbeat, as you would imagine, because it's the end of the movie. We have had a very long and very good journey, I feel, with Grisabella. So this is a great payoff when she's going off into the Heaviside Layer, whatever the fuck that is. Idris Elba joins in at the end, and I don't know if you noticed this. I did. He does a weird Birmingham accent. It's like, Heaviside Layer, here I come.
To be honest, I really wanted to be the Jellicle Cat myself, to be honest.
No, that's what he sounds like, especially the come part. Heaviside Layer, here I come.
Here I come.
Yeah, it sounds, like I said, like a Birmingham accent.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but there. So if you ever watch this movie again, be sure to look out for that. And then the finale, the greatest finale of any movie ever. The ad dressing of cats. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
There's a hyphen between ad and dressing.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
Was it because it's an advertisement?
It's the thing. It's not really. Old Deuteronomy, who's played by Judi Dench, starts singing for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And the important message from this: a cat is not a dog.
It's so beautiful.
A cat is not a dog. You may think a cat is a dog, but it's not. And you should not treat a cat like a dog, because a cat is not like a dog. And that is what the preceding 90 minutes have taught us.
Yeah. Although, having said that, is there any reason why this film couldn't be about dogs? Is there anything really fundamental to this film that would stop it being about dogs?
Actually, yes.
Yeah, I'm a Jellicle dog.
Yes, there is.
Okay, what is it?
Because it's about cats.
That's so stupid. Leave.
That's the thing. At the start of this is like the 10th time I've referenced it, the Lindsay Ellis video, is this guy talking about cats, and he's asking one of the producers maybe, so what is this actually about, this movie? What is this musical actually about? There's poor cats, there's railway cats, what is it actually about? And he says, and he looked at me and he said, Hal, it's about cats. There you go.
It's just about cats.
It's about cats. I mean, you think, again, what we go back to what I talked about before, which was British nonsense. Again, one of the key themes of nonsense is it has no meaning. It is just nonsense. And that is what this
has
movie
no
is.
sense.
Yeah, no sense. It's just about cats. No deeper meaning. It's just about cats. So, yeah, that is... It seems kind of crazy that you just make a movie about cats, but that's what it is. It's just cats. Don't cats exist? Yes, they do. Well, let's make a movie about them. Cats. The Egyptians would probably approve of that, but yeah.
To be fair, I like to think that if you showed an Egyptian this film, they would be pretty impressed. Like an ancient Egyptian, they'd be like, "Wow, this is incredible." How on earth were you able
I'd love to think
to
they'd
capture
still be
these
weirded
people?
out.
The Egyptians just like show it to like Ramesses II. He's like, CGI is a bit unconvincing.
Yeah, it's like I'm really not sure about when Rebel Wilson sticks her legs in the air. I'm not really a fan of this. Yeah, I mean, you show the Egyptians this movie, and suddenly they stop making cats gods.
You could be like, tell you what, if you want to see some good special effects, let me show you a 1956 film called The Ten Commandments. You're gonna love it when the sea splits in two, and Ramesses is like, okay, film's got a bit of a hard place in my memory actually.
Yeah, no, I do think that'd be funny. A good sketch. If you show the
Egyptians,
the cats, and then they start worshipping snakes instead. That'd be
or
good. But anyway,
dogs.
Did they have dogs in ancient?
They they definitely they did because they had jackals. Because remember they've got that god who's like his head is a jackal.
Is a jackal a dog?
See, I feel like
that's the question.
They are canines, so like let's be honest, because I feel like the domestic cat probably didn't exist in Egyptian times. I'm just going to commit myself to that. So I feel therefore
that's what cats were. What other cats could there be?
So there's there is such a thing as the African wildcat, which is technically a different species.
In the pictures, they were small. But
the African there are small little the lynx. Lynx is a little cat. So I'm saying
but they weren't lynxes though. They were actual domesticated cats.
They were Lynx Africa.
Fucking hell.
Because Egypt's in Africa.
I got the joke. Thank you.
Yeah, good. I just thought you weren't aware.
So I think we should now conclude before we go completely crazy. Do you want to go first, Michael?
All right. Okay. Yeah. This film is. I think we've had fun, which I guess is based on that 10 out of 10. Here's the main thing about this film, which gets to me. There's so much singing, which you could say in some sense means there's very little distinguishing this film from its soundtrack. Basically, you could just put on this film, do something else. I don't know, play a video game, and it would be like you were playing a video game while listening to the Cat soundtrack. There would just be very few brief minutes where people are talking, but most of the time, it would just be you were listening to the soundtrack to Cats. And therefore, in that sense, you could kind of say, well, if you like the soundtrack to Cats, it's not bad. And to be honest, I have to confess that I am actually quite surprised that people who like the musical Cats dislike this film as much as they do. Because if you just showed me this film, independent of anything, I'd be like, oh yeah, I didn't like that because I don't like.
I think it makes stuff up about the actual.
Yeah,
musical.
so
the clarity doesn't make people disappear in the actual music.
Release the Weber cut.
Yes,
we demand it. I don't know, but basically, because me personally,
the problem with Weber cut, Michael, is the CGI isn't good.
Oh that's the issue. Yeah, they need to.
They can't release it.
Oh dear, yeah.
Oh god.
I'd like to see the Hooper cut where it's just no CGI at all, just a bunch of people walking around, just like human beings. Anyway, basically, the main thing is though that the music's not good, the songs aren't good, so the soundtrack is not good. I hate to always reference this every single time we talk about any film, but the soundtrack to West Side Story is genuinely good enough that there are a significant number of songs in there which you can just listen to as songs. This is America. That's a banger. But in this song, okay, Memories, yeah, sure. Maybe I want to listen to Memories. Mistopheles, no. I might sing it to myself, but I never really want to listen to it. The point being, there's no songs in here that you'd ever want to listen to. So to me, that's the big issue. And I guess I'm kind of throwing a lot of shade at the musical itself, because as far as I'm concerned, if this song had great music, you'd say, okay, basically just a glorified music video. It's like song after song after song after song, and there's some people doing some stuff in the background, whatever. But as things stand, it's just a bunch of people arsing around. There's no music. The thing is, I don't necessarily find this film horrible. I find it bad, but I don't find it horrible. And what do I think of it though? Because I honestly don't find it that boring. You'd think I would, but it's so off the wall and insane. I don't find it boring. So I kind of want to put it above. Okay. So a film I did find pretty boring, which is Charlie's Angels, and below a film which I found kind of boring but not too boring, which is Roadhouse. And to me, that actually puts it as a 2 out of 10. So it's not a great rating at all. But I'm not committing it to the 1, even though say it's considered the worst film ever. To me personally, I just find it like I don't really like the music, but I'm not like bored. I'm just like, well, this is crazy. This is weird, which is not the worst feeling you can have during a film.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think one of the reasons, why, and another reason, why the people who like Cats don't like this, is because of how the key thing here is that it does not work as a film. And you think about Cats, it is purely made for a musical, as you would imagine. It's very hard to translate that to a film, and so you lose some of the magic you would on the stage. And you know how last week, Michael, we were talking about capitalism and critiquing capitalism.
Yes,
and you could argue this movie is an example of why capitalism is bad. At least for art, shall we say, because this movie did not need to be made at all, and one of the reasons why it was made is for money, and there is no artistic value to this at all. And you could say, well, it was also actors wanting to win awards. That was another reason why it was made. But you just think about, no one was asking for this movie at all. It does not work, as we have shown. Even the improvements that, I think they would be improvements that we have suggested, would not make it not terrible. It is just a completely awful premise for a movie. Cats who are singing about introducing themselves for an hour and a half with no plot, no real tension, and the tension is shit anyway. So yes, it is. It does not work. So maybe this movie isn't that different to American Psycho. What do you think?
This movie is very different from American Psycho, and it's much more morbid and depressing, and a much bleaker look into capitalist culture.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. But no, here's the thing. Is this movie so bad it's good? And I'd say, not really. The plot is very repetitive, and the technical aspects are weird, not really hilarious. It skews more on the, this is bizarre, more than this is funny. But I think this is special for another reason, Michael.
Yes.
Because this is, considering the budget, in modern film history, one of the worst things ever made. I genuinely do think that. So many important people who have their lives controlled by so many people. Every meticulous decision is made in their careers, with a lot of thought to make sure they get, the maximum exposure and they look as good as possible. And all these famous people ended up in this movie. Idris Elba, Taylor Swift, Jason Derulo, A-list celebrities, some of the most famous people on earth appeared in this. How could this possibly happen? I think Cats is ultimately a horrific but beautiful anomaly, something that should be cherished and never forgotten. When is the last time something like this happened? When Idris Elba, one of the most famous actors in the world, appears in something so shit. I mean, I'm thinking back to Battlefield Earth 20 years ago with John Travolta and Forrest Whitaker. But again, that was a specific passion project from John Travolta.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone knew it was going to be awful from the get-go because of the Scientology connection. It's kind of different to this, where people thought it could be good. And people thought, this could advance our careers and make us look good. And it's a completely different thing. So when was the last time something like this happened? And when will it happen again? I don't know. And it's why I did want to go and see it in the cinema. Unfortunately, people who...
Yeah, you have no friends.
I asked didn't want to, which is a shame. Because I think it is once in a generation calamity. An event that is so ridiculous and famous that it should be seen by everybody who can see it. It is something that I think when you see, you won't forget it, and it should not be forgotten. So that is why I really
giving
think
this film
movie,
a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. No, it is a special movie. It is different to other bad movies because of the amount of talented people who are involved in it and how it was thought this was going to be something that was going to be good.
It's a weird mix of cynicism and sincerity.
Yes.
You get films like, epic movie and generally films which are clearly just made.
Trash.
Yeah, literal trash. And obviously, rubbish sequels and things like that. And obviously they're very cynical. And then you get films which are really sincere and are I really want to tell some story. Whereas this film, it's on the one hand, it is so cynical what they're doing. At the same time, it's really sincere. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to have this great musical number. We're going to, the Beautiful Ghost thing stands out so much because it's it is a genuinely kind of hauntingly nice song.
It's fine. It's decent.
And it's in the middle of this trash fire of just hubris.
Yeah, that is a good word. It's hubris from people.
Yeah, I actually stole it from you. I heard you use that word earlier.
Oh, okay. Well, I stole it from Lindsay Ellis. She probably used that word.
That's patriarchy in action.
So yeah, that's the thing. You're right. It was created for cynical reasons, but they sincerely thought it was going to be good. Hence why they appeared in it. Hence why Taylor Swift appeared in it. Why Idris Elba appeared in it. And she's always going to have cats listed on their Wikipedia page, unless all the elites band together to buy Wikipedia and scrape
what
all that.
What if Cats gets taken off suicide watch and kills itself? Then it can't incriminate anyone.
Yeah, that's a Jeffrey Epstein joke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, unless that happens, then all the elites of society band together and buy things like Wikipedia and scrub all the bad stuff off them.
Yeah. It turns out Prince Andrew was in Cats.
Yeah. It has to be scrubbed off the internet now. He was in Cats. There you go. Yeah, he was one of the background people. He was very, very good at playing a cat because
he was hanging around the mice children.
Oh, fucking hell. I was going to make a cleaner joke because he can't sweat, and since cats can't, it was a perfect fit. You went down that path. So, no, yeah, that's the thing. This will hopefully, it'll always be something that is on these guys' resume. On Taylor Swift's resume, on Jason Derulo's resume, that is something that I think is unexpected, and we should cherish that, because sometimes these people who have their lives controlled meticulously, make sure nothing goes wrong, everything's perfect, to present themselves as the best people possible, as the most talented people possible, things can still go wrong. And I think that is something we should celebrate. I do. So yeah, that's it. What am I going to give it out of 10? Of course, that's the next question. I mean, my explanation right there of why this film's special doesn't really factor into my rating at all. Is it worse than Battlefield Earth? No, it's not, because there are some decent songs in Cats. There is nothing decent about Battlefield Earth. So we shall bump Cats, I think, up to... What did you give it, Michael?
I give it a 2, actually.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 2.5. 2.5 for Cats. So yeah, just barely above something like Battlefield Earth. But yeah, I guess considering the amount of talent that went into this, it should have done a lot better, obviously. But yeah, 2.5 out of 10, something that I hope won't ever be forgotten, and it shouldn't be forgotten. So yeah, that's Cats. What are we doing next week, Michael?
Next week, we are doing another film featuring cats or felines that has terrible animation and is incredibly cynical, The Lion King.
Yes, lovely back-to-back there. Cats and The Lion King. So, thank you for listening. We have been selecting and reflecting on Cats, one of the worst movies of 2019, and I think because of the context, one of the most special movies of 2019 as well. Something that should not be, or should always be remembered, because of the reasons listed. Join us next week for another movie which I think is going to be, or should be, infamous. I don't know if it will be, but it definitely should be, which is The Lion King. Who have you been, Michael?
I've been Michael.
I've been Luke. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye.